That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's not that expensive, though, but...
He's only 46. But he does this with everything, man. He's got $1 million watches.
I don't think he buys every pair.
They even give them to him?
Putting lies on my name, putting lies on me and my team and my family, and hurting my business. We're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars. We can't do that. So this is my first time ever filing a lawsuit against a media company. I'm shopping, spending money, living life. Money made, or money dead.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back in reacting to the bombshell reports surrounding Floyd Mayweather's alleged bankruptcy. He tore into the illusion that wealth guarantees stability, warning that even the highest-paid athletes aren't immune to collapse when reckless spending becomes a lifestyle. Rogan called out Mayweather's apparent disregard for financial responsibilities, especially his long-standing issues with the IRS, as a cautionary tale. He stressed that success doesn't give anyone a free pass to ignore the basics like taxes and money management. In Rogan's view, Mayweather's downfall isn't about bad luck, it's about hubris, unchecked extravagance, and a lack of planning that turns millions into a mirage.
All that money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect, and it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s defamation lawsuit against Insider Incorporated signals a major pivot in how he's choosing to manage his public image. At the core of the suit is an investigative piece questioning the legitimacy of a jaw-dropping $42 million real estate deal involving 62 buildings, an acquisition that, if real, would place him in elite entrepreneurial territory. But the article paints a murky picture, casting doubt on whether the deal even happened and calling into question the finances backing it. Mayweather claims the story isn't just misleading, it's a deliberate attack on his credibility. By taking legal action, he's not just defending a business deal, he's trying to protect the empire he says he's built beyond the ring.
So, I know you guys want to talk about real estate. Only thing I'm doing is answer the question.
That is a real estate question.
Okay, so out of 48 years, I'm 48 years old, and I've never sued a media outlet. The media outlet throughout my life has bashed me, talked bad about me, spoke bad about my family. Now, I've always been judged because how I have presented myself when I'm promoting a fight. You cannot judge me for entertaining the people when I'm promoting a fight. Judge me for the person that you know. You can't judge me if you don't know me. So, that's no different from people in this room may want to do a deal with me. But if someone going out there putting lies on my name, putting lies on me and my team and my family, and hurting my business, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars. We can't do that. So this is my first time ever filing a lawsuit against a media company.
Mayweather's legal team argues that the Insider article didn't just get it wrong, it chose sensationalism over facts. According to Floyd, he handed over detailed documentation that could have validated the legitimacy of the real estate deal, yet it was allegedly brushed aside to preserve a headline-friendly narrative. What makes this case stand out is that it's the first time Mayweather has launched this kind of legal offensive against a media outlet, suggesting the stakes are incredibly personal. He's presenting himself not as a celebrity lashing out, but as a businessman demanding respect, insisting that this wasn't about PR, it was about principle.
To build my name, to build my reputation, and I'm not gonna let anyone go out there and smear my name and talk bad about me, talk bad about my family, or talk bad about my companies.
All right, one more toughie. So
Nothing is tough.
no? Okay.
After being in the sport of boxing, dealing with the sport of boxing, there's nothing that's tough.
Fair. So that article sparked rumors that you are bankrupt. How do you respond to that? I don't think you have publicly responded
Well,
yet.
everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if we call having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, being able to do what you want to do, if that's bankrupt, then I'm pretty sure everybody want to live like that.
Okay, so I think we'll end with this one. When I spoke to you all last week, you were riding around Miami, you were looking to buy even more.
Yes.
Have you bought anything in the week since we last spoke?
I don't know. I was out in Miami for a while. We were looking at a few properties. I'm pretty sure for the end of the year,
Stephen A. Smith's take added serious fuel to the fire, peeling back the curtain on Mayweather's business dealings with a critical eye. He didn't outright dismiss the lawsuit, but he questioned how much of Mayweather's empire is built on image rather than actual infrastructure. Smith suggested that while Mayweather projects billionaire energy and mogul-level confidence, the financial reality may not be as bulletproof as it seems. His comments weren't just about this one lawsuit. They were about a broader pattern, that Mayweather's financial image might be less of a fortress and more of a carefully curated illusion.
I can't count the amount of examples where I saw people get laid off, and then I see somebody come up right behind and say, business does business. You never know what's behind the goal of a business per se. What you do know is the work that you put in. If you're smart enough, what value comes with that work. And then at the same time, you also pride yourself in being very, very reasonable. I haven't, and I'm not going to talk about my contract negotiations with ESPN. They are ongoing. I think the talks have been very pleasant. I think we're making progress. We'll see what happens. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I've got decisions to make because I got a future to think about.
50 Cent, never one to mince words, hit Mayweather where it hurts. He questioned why, if the $42 million real estate transaction is real, there's no visible proof, no contracts, no banking documents, no public paper trail. Instead, Floyd's leaning on legal intimidation to stifle skepticism. To 50, it's all smoke and mirrors. He framed it as a weak flex from someone trying to maintain power through lawsuits rather than receipts. And in today's hyper-aware climate, where fans and critics alike are questioning the authenticity behind celebrity wealth, Mayweather's evasiveness only deepens the suspicion. The message? If it's real, show us. If not, stop pretending.
Description where y'all can watch that in full, and as we have already seen, 50 Cent has been very involved in critiquing, taking shots at Floyd Mayweather, and when this came across his desk, he did nothing other than that. If that's the case, it's going nowhere because you didn't do the deal, champ. He must have named the writer separately to make him have to pay his own legal team. The champ is mad, and 50 most definitely promoted his brands and everything with that because 50 Cent has came into question about this deal that Floyd Mayweather has struck, showed his real estate businesses, and people started diving into it. Floyd Mayweather has been defending it, but I just realized he put this $100 million lawsuit in against Business Insider, saying that they have been going at him for a long time now, coming at his family, coming at his team, and saying these derogatory things and defaming him, so he won $100 million. The suit lost in the Southern District of New York names Insider Inc. and reporter Daniel Geiger as defendants. It is centered around reporting by Geiger about real estate deals Mayweather Jr. publicly discussed, including an agreement to buy a 62-building Manhattan apartment portfolio. Geiger reported in late March that there is no evidence that there has been a sale. According to the lawsuit, Geiger embarked on a campaign of harassment and defamation categorized by aggressive and misleading journalism that not only distorts the truth, but seems driven by a deep-seated bias against Mr. Mayweather's success. It claims that Geiger refused to review documentation proving the deals in question happened, and suggests that there's a racial component to the reporter's work.
Floyd Mayweather is usually the picture of cool confidence, but when interviews pivot to questions about his money, cracks begin to show. His tone shifts, answers get vague, and the bravado dims. Rather than dispelling the bankruptcy rumors with clear, verifiable numbers, he often dodges the specifics, and that silence speaks volumes. In the world of high-stakes branding, public image is capital. And when that image starts to crumble, even the slightest evasion becomes a spotlight. For Mayweather, his refusal to be transparent isn't just raising eyebrows, it's shaking the foundation of a persona that once seemed untouchable.
So that article sparked rumors that you are bankrupt. How do you respond to that? I don't think you have publicly responded
well,
yet.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if we call having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, being able to do what you want to do, if that's bankrupt, then I'm pretty sure everybody want to live like that.
That last statement was a fact. If that's bankrupt, I'm sure a lot of people want to live like that. I'd sell a few of them planes, especially if I was going bankrupt. But yeah, it wouldn't be a bad lifestyle to have. Now, Floyd Mayweather isn't the most articulate person. He does not articulate himself the best. This has been well known throughout his career. He is a prize fighter. He is a master promoter. He is a great business person. Put him behind a microphone or have him articulate himself, he's not the best at it. So if you listen to that and y'all tell me if y'all got the same vibe I did or if y'all think that I'm tripping, it sounds like he's running around a lot of shit. And it's like, all right, bro, yeah, you might be going bankrupt. But let's understand something real quick. If one of Floyd Mayweather's businesses, or if his business is going bankrupt, that does not mean that Floyd Mayweather himself is broke. That means that his business may be struggling. Oh yeah, his business may be struggling, and you could file for bankruptcy. I think it's 13 or 9, chapter 13 or chapter 9, or whatever the case may be.
Floyd Mayweather's insistence that he has no outstanding tax liabilities directly clashes with documented actions by the IRS. For a man who's spent years branding himself as the ultimate financial alpha, untouchable, unstoppable, these contradictions cut deep. Tax evasion allegations don't just tarnish a reputation, they challenge the very foundation of his public image. The idea that even the government is coming after him punctures the myth of absolute control. These IRS filings don't just back up critics, they open the door for further investigations that could unravel more than just unpaid balances. And then there's the ambiguity around his supposed $400 million real estate empire. While he touts it as generational wealth, no one has seen the receipts. His words sound powerful, but they aren't supported by public proof. And that's where the problem lies. His image projects unstoppable success, but the facts are murky. Is Floyd's empire truly built on financial acumen, or is it a smoke and mirrors fortress built to keep the truth at bay?
It's Money May, Aaron Mayweather too. Go Money Green on him. Change it up. Change it up. Change it up. That's what we do. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what we did. I need everybody, all the fighters all around the world. MMA, boxers, follow this man right here. We get the job done. Money May, and y'all know the rest.
Social media has become Mayweather's battlefield, but instead of silencing critics, it's turning into a war zone of conflicting narratives. Every tweet, post, and headline seems to add more confusion than clarity. His defamation lawsuit, intended to shut down whispers, has only amplified them. Rather than quelling doubts, it has inspired deeper questions. What's really behind this legal move? Is it about protecting his business, or is it a strategy to deflect attention away from financial gaps? For fans, the lines between performance and reality have become so blurred, it's no longer clear whether they're watching a businessman defending his legacy or a celebrity scrambling to preserve a collapsing illusion.
Well, apparently Floyd Mayweather files a $100 million lawsuit against Business Insider over real estate deal report. Man, that's an expensive lawsuit. The lawsuit comes after a report by Business Insider journalist Daniel Geiger claimed that the 62-building Manhattan real estate portfolio that Mayweather announced he acquired never actually occurred. Geiger's report stated there was no evidence a sale was made. Mayweather's lawsuit claimed that Geiger refused to review documents of the deal, and it was an attempt by Geiger to publicly humiliate Mayweather. They embarked on a campaign of harassment and defamation characterized by aggressive and misleading journalism that not only distorts the truth but seems driven by a deep-seated bias against Mr. Mayweather's success. Floyd Mayweather. No, damn well he did not write that. And why would he? You know, he's talking about himself in third person. It's so cringe. Business Insider has provided a statement to front office sport saying, "We will vigorously defend against this meritless attempt to discredit our reporting and smear our reporter." So they aren't backing down at all. It's going to be interesting.
Inside the ring, Mayweather's legacy is untouchable. His undefeated record and elite defense made him a boxing icon. But outside the ropes, his financial narrative is starting to crack. When he claimed ownership of over $400 million in real estate, the public expected proof. What they got was silence. No property records. No corporate filings. No evidence. And for fans who once idolized his savvy, it's a crushing disappointment. There's now a growing sense that Mayweather isn't just trying to maintain wealth, he's trying to protect a fantasy. A version of himself defined not by substance, but by the illusion of invincibility.
For some odd reason, at the beginning of the year, Floyd Mayweather decided to tell us all that he bought a bunch of apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Everybody has found out that that wasn't true. Apparently, it's not that hard to figure out who owns property. This is not an indictment on Floyd Mayweather as a boxer. He is one of the best boxers we've ever seen. Anybody who is privy to Floyd Mayweather's antics outside of the ring knows Floyd ain't bought no goddamn apartment buildings in no Upper Manhattan, bro. We knew that when he told us. I'm not sure who Floyd Mayweather thought he was fooling. Nothing about Floyd Mayweather outside of a boxing ring says savvy. I'm sorry. This is the same Floyd Mayweather that 50 Cent told he would donate $50,000 to the charity of his choice to read Harry Potter. He bought $400 million worth of apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Come on, Floyd. The people who was living in them apartment buildings, the second they heard that Floyd Mayweather bought their building, they was on the phone with property management like, what's really? I will pay $10,000 a month, but I won't pay $10,000 a month to a nigga. Floyd, you can't just do that with Upper Manhattan apartment buildings, bro. Tell lies like that about the projects, man. You gotta do that to the hood, man. Ain't nobody going for that shit in Upper Manhattan, Floyd. You should have knew better than that, my boy. But then again, you are Floyd Mayweather. Oh, man. Anybody with common sense knew that Floyd was in trouble when he started.
There was a time when Mayweather seemed invincible both in and out of the ring. He made over $1 billion fighting, breaking records with every pay-per-view event. But instead of channeling that wealth into sustainable ventures, he poured it into a high-octane lifestyle, $20 million cars, $60 million jets, and endless displays of excess. It wasn't investment, it was spectacle. Now, that empire is showing signs of instability. The parallels to Mike Tyson's financial collapse are becoming impossible to ignore. Both men earned astronomical sums, lived like kings, and treated money as an extension of their fame. And now, Mayweather appears to be teetering toward the same financial cliff Tyson once fell from. The difference is, Tyson's story is cautionary history. Mayweather's? It's playing out in real time.
Around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We've seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with an emotion of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada yada yada, it just kind of reminded me, there was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant, with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. They're something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement, or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather.
The concerns about Floyd's financial behavior aren't just coming from outsiders, they're coming from his inner circle. Jeff Mayweather, his own uncle and a respected trainer, has voiced deep concern about Floyd's impulsive choices and lack of financial discipline. According to Jeff, Floyd's investments, especially in questionable real estate deals, appear driven more by ego than expertise. Instead of consulting advisors or developing a long-term plan, Floyd seems to rely on gut instinct and bravado. That approach might have worked in the ring, but in the business world, it's risky and potentially ruinous. For years, Floyd's legend was built on money. He flaunted wealth like armor. But as cracks begin to show, fans and observers alike are realizing that behind the shine, there may be far less gold than he led them to believe.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.